Ei, gente, tudo bem? Boa noite, já é boa noite? Deixa eu ver. Boa noite já, né? Um, I decided I was going to make a video for you because today I had that feeling in class when I looked at you guys, and it seems like you were so lost. And because this is so rushed, everything is so rushed. I want to go through these two verb tenses so that you know what you're doing, okay, for Wednesday. Now, the vocab is on your own, so make sure you study that part, those things that I sent when we didn't have class, the true and false. Study that page, okay? And as I said, the dictation, let me see what page I told you. We are going to, I'm going to take the dictation from that exercise we did in class when you were organizing the dialogue in the correct order. Okay, so that is the dialogue that I am going to use for the dictation. Now, it doesn't mean that I am going to give you uh, um, it doesn't mean I'm going to give you a dialogue. It's going to be more or less like the one we did on the exam, okay? So I'm just going to create a little text based on that dialogue, okay? So that is page, let me see here, page 489, 485, okay? This right here, this dialogue down here. So I'm going to use the words, the words are going to be taken from here, okay? So, so the vocab of the lesson, okay? This text, make sure you know this one we worked in class. So this one, and some things about the environment, okay? Meio ambiente, and here the true and false questions that I sent via email to you, okay? Okay, so let's take a look at the future. And in class, I don't know, those of you, and something else, there were a lot of people absent, right? So here is what it is. The future, this kind of future, we have two different ways of using the future in Portuguese. Either you use the verb ir in the present plus the infinitive, and this you have been using this since Portuguese 111. Eu vou viajar, nós vamos comprar, eles vão estudar, okay? And this is the most common future. This one that we are going to see now is a kind of future that is very literary. You are just going to see that in written language, not in spoken language, okay? And very specific kinds of discourses. So, the political discourse, as we are going to see here, or biblical language, or journalistic language, okay? So it's always about a promise, okay? Or a prediction about the future. So this is the kind of language that horoscopes use a lot, okay? Because they are predicting something about the future, okay? So this is super easy. The form is super easy because you just have to get the verb in infinitive and you have to add these endings here. So the verb comprar. Eu comprarei, você comprará, nós compraremos, eles comprarão. The verb falar. Eu falarei, você falará, nós falaremos, eles falarão. Now remember that you are going to use the infinitive, okay? So just leave it's after the R that you are going to add these endings, okay? And then what's really nice is that you have just three irregular verbs. You have the verb fazer, trazer, and dizer. So what happens here? You're going to remove the Z and you're going to add an R and then you add the endings, okay? So farei, fará, faremos, farão. Trarei, trará, traremos, trarão. Direi, dirá, diremos, dirão. Okay, so I asked you to rewrite this paragraph so that you can practice. Now guys, when I ask you to rewrite, there is a reason. This is vocabulary that you need for the lesson, okay? And for you to write on the test when you need to write something or the composition, okay? So, você é um político famoso ou uma política famosa e está em campanha para as próximas means the next, okay? The next elections. Use os verbos abaixo para dizer o que você vai fazer no futuro se eleito, okay? So, what you're going to do in the future if elected. So you're going to say, se eleito, né? If elected, eu, and then you have to get So see how simple it is. You're just going to get the verb construir mais casas, right? Construct more or build more houses for the poor. Se eleito ou se eleita, if you're a woman, eu, and then you write the infinitive. Construir, and then you add the ending. Construirei mais casas para os pobres. Eu trarei, o verbo trazer, it's one of the irregular verbs. Eu trarei mais oportunidade de negócio. Oportunidade de negócios. It should be in the plural. Para Knoxville. Né? I will bring. Eu trarei mais oportunidade de negócio para Knoxville. Né? I will bring more business opportunities to Knoxville. I will give incentive to the private sector. Okay? Eu trarei mais oportunidades. And then what you can do to make the text look nice, you can connect sentences, ok? Eu trarei mais oportunidades de negócios para Knoxville e eu incentivarei a iniciativa privada. So these are nice sentences to connect because both of them are related to business, right? So the next one, criar emprego. So to create jobs. So eu criarei mais empregos e investirei. Não, eu criarei mais empregos. So let's stop here because the other one is nicer because you're talking about investing in education and paying better salaries to the teachers. So you can connect those two, right? Eu criarei mais empregos. And then you become very. Eu investirei em educação. What happened here? Educar. I don't know what happened with the A. Eu investirei em educação e pagarei melhores salários para, ou então aos professores. Eba! Ok, so this is how you're going to go about this paragraph. So, por favor, gente, escrevam o parágrafo, tá? É muito importante que vocês escrevam para praticar o vocabulário e aprender a escrever. The same thing with the dictation. Don't just look at the words. Copy that dialogue, okay? Copy that, not dialogue, copy that little text. Because if you just look at it, you will not know how you spell the words, okay? So trust me. Escrevam, copiem, tá? So I'll let you finish this. So, melhorar o sistema de transporte público. So, melhorar means to better, to improve. Então, eu melhorarei o sistema de transporte público e farei uma reforma na Previdência Social. Previdência Social e Social Security, ok? Então, eu farei uma reforma, né? Na Previdência Social. Criarei, o verbo criar, to create, recycling centers, né? Então, eu criarei centros de reciclagem. Eu diminuirei o índice de criminalidade, ok? So, I will lessen the rate of criminality. Dar atenção especial a programas de proteção ambiental. I will give special attention to environmental protection programs. Eu defenderei os direitos das minorias. I will defend the rights of minorities. E eu implementarei um programa de combate às drogas, ok? I will implement a program of drug control, okay? To fight that, okay? So make sure you practice this by writing, all right? Now, The other one that I want to see is what we saw today in class, okay? With all those, the PowerPoints, okay? The situações hipotéticas, okay? So this is really cool because the one we just saw is the will, okay? Future. Now let's see how you say would, okay? So as we saw in class, those are hypothetical situations. They're not real, okay? And you saw that you are going to work with the C. Remember when I told you the mood? So when you have a hypothetical situation, you are going to use the subjunctive, right? In that case, if I had money. And this is equivalent to the conditional in English, the second type of conditional. In English, you have, in Portuguese as well, you have three types of conditional. One is when you say, if I have time, I will travel. Okay, so if I have time, I will travel. So chances are that you will have time and you will travel. So there is a possibility in the future that you are going to travel. Okay. Now, when you say the second type of conditional, if I had time, I would travel, that means it's an unreal situation in the present. You don't have time to travel and you will not travel. Now, then you have the third type of conditional is when something is completely past and it never happened. For example, when you say, if I had had time, I would have traveled. And thank God we are not going to see this third conditional, okay? So we are just going to see the second one, okay? And the first one we are going to see on Friday when we learn the future subjunctive. So if I had money, I would travel. So this is, we practice in class, these are hypothetical situations, unreal situations in the present, okay? So very easy to, just like the future, you are going to use the verb in the infinitive. And you are going to add these endings here. It's the same as the imperfect, right? Ia, íamos, with the accent mark, and iam. And also we have three regular verbs, dar, trazer e fazer, ok? Então, diríamos, diríamos, diriam, traríamos, trariam, faríamos, fariam. Então, vamos lá, vamos praticar? Se você estivesse doente, o que você faria? So that means, né? If, so this C here means if. If you were sick, what would you do? So remember that when you have the verb fazer, you're not going to repeat fazer in the answer. So what would you do? You're not going to repeat do in the answer. You are going to say what you would do. I would call a doctor, I would go to the hospital, I would call a friend, I would call my mother, ok? Então, se você estivesse doente, o que você faria? Eu iria, o verbo ir, né, to go, so you add the ending. Eu iria ao médico. Ou eu iria para o hospital, ok? Em qual cidade você moraria se você não morasse em Knoxville? So notice, it's just like in English. When you have the dependent clause at the beginning, you have a comma, like letter A. Se você estivesse doente, vírgula, o que você faria? Now, when you invert, when you put the dependent clause after the main clause, then you don't need the comma. Em qual cidade você moraria se você não morasse em Knoxville? So, in which city would you live if you did not live in Knoxville? So notice, guys, that you know, both will and would, it's just the ending at the main verb, ok? Em qual cidade você moraria se você não morasse em Knoxville? Eu moraria em... eu moraria em Charlotte. Não, em Charleston. Charleston. Não é assim, né? Tem um L, né? Aqui, um L. Eu moraria em Charleston. Quantos copos de água você beberia se você estivesse com muita sede? Então, how many glasses of water would you drink? Okay, so every time you see this ending attached to the verb, it means would, okay? Então, how many glasses of water would you drink if you were very thirsty? Então, I would drink. Então, eu, and then you, the infinitive, beber, and then you add the ending. Very easy. Eu beberia 3 copos d'água. Copos de água. Ok? Se você não estudasse português, qual língua você estudaria? So, if you did not study Portuguese, which language would you study? Eu estudaria espanhol. Eu estudaria espanhol, eu estudaria francês, eu estudaria italiano, chinês, qualquer língua, ok? Para qual instituição? Notice, remember when we studied last semester, the preposition is always at the beginning, okay? So, para qual instituição? So, remember to use the preposition in the answer. Para qual instituição você daria dinheiro se você fosse muito rico? Então, se eu fosse muito rico, eu, in my case, rica, né? Eu daria dinheiro para o Greenpeace. Se você ganhasse na loteria, o que você faria, né? So, if you won the lottery, what would you do? And guys, because in the past subjunctive, the first and second person is conjugated the same, if you want to give the complete answer, you can say, se eu ganhasse, okay? You don't have to worry about the verb, just repeat it. Se eu ganhasse na loteria. So, if I won the lottery, loteria, vírgula, ok? So, the dependent clause comes before, comma, ok? Vírgula. Se eu ganhasse na loteria, eu compraria uma casa e eu compraria uma casa para mim e eu ajudaria, né? The verb ajudar, to help. So I would help my family and friends. Eu ajudaria minha família e meus amigos. Ok? E os meus alunos, né? Então tá. Ok, gente. Espero que esse vídeo ajude vocês, ok? Com os exercícios, né? Acho que vai ficar mais fácil para vocês assim, tá? Até quarta-feira, estudem, ok? Tchau, gente. Obrigada.